Today, our topic is the art of practicing indifference. Life is full of ups and downs, and sometimes it feels like we are on a roller coaster that we cannot control. But what if I told you that there is a way to navigate through life's challenges with a sense of calm and balance? This is where the art of practicing indifference comes in. Indifference does not mean that you do not care about anything or that you are cold-hearted. Instead, it means that you choose not to let external events control your emotions or your peace of mind. It is about focusing on what you can control and letting go of what you cannot. This idea comes from Stoicism, an ancient philosophy that teaches us how to live a good life by focusing on virtue, wisdom, and self-control. Let me give you an example. Imagine you are driving to work, and suddenly someone cuts you off in traffic. Your first reaction might be anger or frustration. You might start yelling or honking your horn. But think about it. Does getting angry change the situation? No, the other driver has already moved on, and your anger only affects you. It raises your stress levels, ruins your mood, and maybe even affects your day. Now, imagine if you practiced indifference in this situation. You acknowledge that the other driver made a mistake, but you choose not to let it bother you. You take a deep breath, remind yourself that you cannot control other people's actions, and continue driving calmly. This small shift in mindset can make a big difference in how you experience life. The art of practicing indifference is not about ignoring problems or avoiding responsibility. It is about understanding what is within your control and what is not. The Stoics believe that the only things we truly control are our thoughts, emotions, and actions. Everything else, other people's opinions, the weather, traffic, or even the outcome of our efforts, is beyond our control. When we try to control things we cannot, we set ourselves up for frustration and disappointment. But when we focus on what we can control, we gain a sense of inner peace and strength. Let me share a story to illustrate this point. There was once a farmer who worked hard every day to grow crops. One year, a terrible storm came and destroyed his fields. The farmer's neighbors came to comfort him, but to their surprise, the farmer was calm. He said, "I did everything I could to grow the crops. The storm was beyond my control. Why should I let it ruin my peace of mind?" This farmer understood the art of practicing indifference. He knew that he could not control the weather, but he could control his reaction to it. Instead of feeling helpless or angry, he chose to accept the situation and focus on what he could do next. Practicing indifference also means not letting other people's opinions define your self-worth. In today's world, it is easy to get caught up in what others think of us. We worry about being judged, criticized, or rejected. But the truth is, you cannot please everyone, and you should not try to. People will always have their own opinions, and those opinions often say more about them than about you. When you practice indifference, you stop seeking validation from others and start valuing yourself for who you are. You realize that your worth does not depend on how many likes you get on social media or how many people approve of your choices. It comes from within. Another important aspect of practicing indifference is learning to accept failure and setback. Life is not always fair, and things do not always go as planned. You might work hard for something and still not achieve it. You might face rejection, criticism, or disappointment. But these experiences do not define you. What matters is how you respond to them. When you practice indifference, you see failure as a learning opportunity rather than a reflection of your worth. You understand that setbacks are a natural part of life, and they do not have to break you. Instead, they can make you stronger and more resilient. Let me give you another example. Imagine you are preparing for a job interview. You spend hours researching the company, practicing your answers, and choosing the perfect outfit. You do everything you can to prepare, but when the day comes, you do not get the job. It is easy to feel discouraged or to take it personally. But if you practice indifference, you can approach the situation differently. You remind yourself that you did your best, and the outcome was beyond your control. You focus on the lessons you learned from the experience and use them to improve for the next opportunity. Instead of dwelling on the rejection, you move forward with confidence and determination. Practicing indifference also helps us deal with change. Life is constantly changing, and sometimes those changes can be difficult to accept. You might lose a job, end a relationship, or face a health challenge. These experiences can be painful, but they are also a part of life. When you practice indifference, you learn to accept change rather than resist it. You understand that change is inevitable, and fighting against it only causes more suffering. Instead, you focus on adapting to the new situation and finding ways to move forward. This does not mean that you never feel sad or upset. It simply means that you do not let those emotions control you. You acknowledge them, process them, and then let them go. One of the key principles of Stoicism is to focus on the present moment. The past is gone, and the future is uncertain. The only thing we have is the present. When you practice indifference, you learn to live in the moment and appreciate what you have right now. You stop worrying about things that might happen in the future or regretting things that happened in the past. Instead, you focus on making the most of the present. This does not mean that you do not plan for the future or learn from the past. It simply means that you do not let those things consume your thoughts and emotions. Practicing indifference also helps us build better relationships. When we stop trying to control others or worrying about their opinions, we can connect with them on a deeper level. We can listen to them without judgment, support them without expecting anything in return, and accept them for who they are. This creates a sense of trust and mutual respect. It also frees us from the burden of trying to change others or meet their expectations. We can focus on being the best version of ourselves and letting others do the same. In conclusion, the art of practicing indifference is about finding peace and balance in a world that is often chaotic and unpredictable. It is about focusing on what you can control and letting go of what you cannot. It is about accepting life as it is with all its ups and downs and finding strength in your ability to adapt and grow. When you practice indifference, you free yourself from the burden of anger, worry, and regret. You learn to live in the present moment and appreciate the beauty of life. You become more resilient, more compassionate, and more at peace with yourself. So, the next time you face a challenge, remember the art of practicing indifference. Take a deep breath, focus on what you can control, and let go of the rest. This simple practice can transform your life and help you find the inner peace you've been searching for.